friend called me their best friend. I don't feel the same. Honestly, if someone appreciates my company enough to call me their best friend, then I take that and run with it. I have maybe 4 or 5 people that I consider to be best friends. But there's only one who I feel comfortable sharing some of my deepest secrets with. Best friends is just another word for close friend in my book. Just accept the title and reciprocate. You don't have to share anything you don't want to share. I see your point, but it is really necessary to let them know that you are not on the same page. I am myself in a situation quite similar to yours, but on the other side, like I repute someone be my best friend, but I know that is not the same for her. She has some friends which are way more close to her than me, and I have quite accepted this fact, but if she told me directly, I think it will hurt me more, like I'm just one of the many and not a special one for her. So if you decide to say something, please do it with grace. Being a best friend doesn't mean you share everything. Is just someone who connects with you at a higher level than the average friend. The one you call at 3 a.m. Maybe that's still not them, but it has nothing to do with how much you share with them. Yeah, you don't need to let them know it's not reciprocated. Just take it as a compliment. Some people are pretty flippant with terms like best friend. Personally, I never call anyone that simply because I'm scared they don't consider me a best friend, but I wouldn't take what they say super seriously. The current friend group I'm in constantly says I love you, which weirds me out, but I realize that it's common for them, so I just say it back. Examine your guys' relationship. If there is nothing off-putting like extreme clinginess or neediness, then I don't think there's a reason to say you don't consider yourself their best friend. They said you are their best friend, it's how they feel about you, doesn't mean they consider themselves to be your best friend. It's not a relationship status like lovers. Not your responsibility if they misunderstand and ask too much of you. https://youtu.be/f2dfezUTHXK question C equals F02KJMZDCJBDTTDD. This feels relevant. You're tripping up here by worrying about this so much at all. It is normal and okay for someone to consider a person their best friend while that person doesn't consider them the same. I would not think that adults would give that much weight to the term best friend, and I don't think you should assume your friends do either. If they have unfair expectations about you just because they consider you their best friend without your reciprocating that, that's not your problem. You can have multiple close friends. Those people may have other friends who they'd call their best friends too. I have several friends who I could call a best friend. You don't need to have a maid of honor or even bridesmaids either. I didn't. I just chose my longest best friend to be my witness. So, we all have our favorite color or our favorite pair of pants. We also have our favorite aka best friend. It doesn't have to be reciprocated, and there shouldn't be any hard feelings about it either. Some people just vibe better with others, that's all. I wish we would start normalizing this. I think you're overthinking it. I'd say I have like 4 best friends, and one of them I'd say has like 8 best friends. Lol, no sense worrying about a problem that hasn't presented itself. I've had my best friend since kindergarten, and I've got things that I have not shared with him, and he's got things that he has not shared with me. Now, it'd be different if your spouse or significant other was your best friend, then there might be issues. I don't think you need to worry. I see friends on social media saying, "Out with my besties." Maybe on her birthday post or text, "Happy birthday to *1 have *my besties." People who throw that word around mean it a little less seriously, I think. Here's the thing, every friendship is unique, and it's okay to have different levels of closeness with different people. It doesn't mean you value them any less, it's just that your version of close might not be the share every little secret kind. And that's perfectly fine. Maybe the key here is just to keep being you. You don't have to sit them down for a big talk about not being besties unless it really comes to a point where expectations are clashing. Just continue to be the good friend you are, respecting the bond in your own way. If the maid of honor thing or similar situations come up, you can tackle it gently then, focusing on how much you value their friendship in a way that feels true to you. Friendships are all about navigating these kinds of moments with honesty and kindness, without feeling pressure to fit into a label. Just keep swimming, and you'll handle it just fine. But there's parts of my life I don't share with them, and I'm happy with it staying that way. I tend to be more of an oversharer, and even I don't share all parts of my life with everyone. It's pretty normal to want some privacy in your relationships. Friendship isn't about sharing everything to them like they're your psychologist, it's about who you get along super well with and share some degree of history with. I have a few best friends, people I've retained friendships with over the past 5 years, and very few really close friends. One I've known 15 years. None of them know my whole story, but it's vice versa. Sometimes it's just about having someone you know you can hang out with and truly enjoy their company. I just had a conversation with one of my best friends about this. I have certain people I consider my best friends, but it's not as hard and strong a label as it seems to be in some people's eyes. I have a best friend who's my best friend because we talk every single day for the past year or so, and I have a best friend who's my best friend because we've known each other since we were 11 and were that close throughout high school, but nowadays just talk every few weeks. Still consider each other best friends. I have a best friend who was my best coworker before I left my job, and we see each other every week or two and talk about anything, but not daily. Still a best friend. Things ebb and flow, and a very close friend can be a best friend without being completely enmeshed with you. You don't need to tell each other every single thing to know that it's a friendship that's strong and can withstand the test of time and space. It is as simple as what best friend means to you is different from what best friend means to her. And neither of your preconceived notions have to match what you see best friends portrayed as on TV. Ask for clarity or provide clarity of where you stand when it matters. This doesn't mean you will help her bury a body. Make a boundary when an issue presents itself.